There are two ways to go, and I was up writing the monologue today for television about 3 o'clock this morning, and I am more convinced than ever that the only way we save our country is through divine providence. That's it. The same way the founders felt when they were trying to break away from England. It cannot happen any other way. It won't happen any other way. We have Shirley Dobson on. She is the wife of James Dobson, and she is part of the National Day of Prayer, which is happening Thursday. Hi, Shirley. How are you?
Hi, Glenn. Thanks for giving us some support this year.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I couldn't agree with you more with your previous statement.
There is, there's two ways to go, and the world is going right off a cliff into the abyss of evil. And then a lot of good people are just standing around with their hands in their pockets, and they need instead to put their hands together and call upon the only force that will save us.
Right. This country was birthed in prayer, and it was founded on the God of the Bible, on his biblical principles and his moral values. And we have strayed for that, and we're reaping the consequences of it. We see it every day. We see it in our newspapers. There's so much anxiety out there that, because we aren't on our knees praying for our country, and it's all through Scripture. It teaches us that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And so my role as chairman of the National Day of Prayer, we're not just about one day a year. We actually have prayer initiatives throughout the year. But on this one day, we try to get 50 proclamations from all the governors, and we've had them for the past 8 years. This year, we still are waiting on New York, New Jersey, California, and Puerto Rico. And if our listeners out there remember this, I hope they'll hammer their governors for these proclamations because it's important. What it says is that the governor is proclaiming a day of prayer in their state, and it is in support of our nation's day of prayer. We're still waiting for a proclamation from the White House. They say they're working on it, so we hope we get it before Thursday.
They're working on it? I mean, how difficult is it to...
Well, we sent a draft to them, but I don't know. They gave us a good one last year. The one the year before was given at 5:00 on the day of the National Day of Prayer, so we couldn't really use it. Our 50 state representatives that are planning prayer gatherings, they couldn't use it either. So I hope we're going to get it earlier, today or tomorrow.
Shirley, I have been reading a lot about George Washington, and on May 17th. He called for a National Day of Prayer. He did it again in July, and this was a call to beg God's forgiveness and his protection on the idea that would become the United States of America, and the begging of him to protect and also clear the path. And he made a covenant with God, and I contend the American people, and all of us, we have broken that covenant with God, and that's our problem. We've got to make that covenant again. We've got to come back to him and say, look, we'll be your people. Will you be our God again?
That's right, Glenn. In 2 Chronicles 7:14, it says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. And that's exactly what George Washington was doing. In that scripture, there's 4 keys to healing our land: coming before God with humble spirits, coming before him in prayer, seeking his face to answer our problems and not the government or business or education or the military, and then lastly, turning from wrong and doing right. That's what turn from your wicked ways is. Then he says, it's conditional, I will heal your land. So there are going to be thousands of people in their cars, in their homes, at businesses, on military bases around the world, even in prisons. We have inmates that are gathering for prayer. There's going to be a great chorus going up on Thursday, and we just are praying that God will begin a great drawing of His people back to Himself and a great healing in this land.
There are thousands of public venues where you can join. If you want to find out more about it, go to nationaldayofprayer.org. Shirley, you and your husband have been on the tip of the spear for quite some time, and on the receiving end of a lot of hate. Have you ever seen the kind of organized hate against the Bible and religion and Christians like it is right now?
No, I haven't. It is really heating up. Our religious liberty is on the line. In fact, National Day of Prayer was sued by the Freedom from Religion Foundation that it was unconstitutional. And fortunately, 2 out of 3 judges said there was no standing and threw the whole thing out. So we still have our National Day of Prayer. But no, I haven't seen such a dividing in our land, and it's and so much chaos. And we just need to get back to our spiritual roots and calling upon God to intervene and caring about one another.
Thank you so much, Shirley, and my best to James.
Thank you, Glenn, and God bless you. You're doing a great job. Keep
Thanks.
up the good work.
God bless. The nationaldayofprayer.org. Go there now. Please be involved. Please fast and pray. Read what George Washington said and what he did. It is the only thing that will save us is God. Make a covenant with Him. Covenant as a people. Help us. Help us, God. Please help us. Forgive us and help us. We'll serve you and start to do right